Sparkle Squad. I am here today in my little bee gloves for Beebeecraft. I have a project share I want to do. I wanted to show these little bee themed gloves off. This is another fellow Etzian that I purchased these beautiful crocheted gloves from. Her name is MB Gloves and Mittens, and I will put her shop link below. So I'm going to quickly show my camera up here. I've got several things going on, and I am at my table, my dream box cabinet. I am starting to use this now for my tutorials and things that I'm doing, and I'm going to kind of pan backwards here. Sorry, you're going to see a little bit of camera activity. Got all of my autumn themed papers and everything up there, and everything's going on over here. I've turned my witch into a horn of plenty, sort of. For Thanksgiving. And then I have some ice cream cone earrings here. Let me show you one. I used some of these same flowers I'm going to show you on a ring I did. These are those rose beads that I got from Beebeecraft. And I did some ice cream cones using my Cone-tastic tool that I talked about earlier, and some pink artistic wire, some bead caps and pearls, and I just did wire wrapping. And then this little white, creamy looking white rose is the whipped cream on top of my ice cream cone. I thought that was so cute. And then I made my own ear wires for earrings. I did a bunch of different ones here using some beads that I got elsewhere, and I will talk about those in a separate video, but these turned out really cute. I love them all. And of course I have my little give thanks sign because we're into Thanksgiving now, people. Okay, so before I get into an actual tutorial-ish, I already have a ring making video out on my channel for Beebeecraft, so I'm not going to go through every little detail that I did on these rings, but I did use my Beebeecraft beads in my most recent haul for these lovely rings. Now the first one I'm going to show you has those beautiful little roses, and I put a pearl in. And so the only difference in this ring here, as far as my wire wrapping technique, is I went back through. I used an 18-inch gauge for the main body of my ring, and that gives it a nice sturdy hold to it. But then I went back with this 26 gauge wire, and I just did the wrap with the seed beads in this 26 gauge so that it was more pliable, more flexible, and went in all the nooks and crannies that I wanted it to. I kind of camouflaged a little oopsies that I did with my wire wrapping, so even if you make a mistake on your rings, you don't necessarily have to take it all apart, not unless you just want to, and you can fix your ring up, maybe embellish it a little bit further. And I like how this turned out. This is a Thanksgiving kind of color ring that I've done here for fall. So whenever the fall kicks in, I've got a cute little ring that I can wear. And it incorporates the floral element of these little roses here, as well as this kind of a taupey brown metallic glass pearl that I have mixed in there. And I can wear this either way that I want to, either this way here or the other way. And I think it's just a really cute ring, especially if you want to kind of have height. So I have large fingers and I need to have some height on my rings, and I kind of like that. So these little cream colored seed beads are what I got in a purchase that I made from Beebeecraft, and it comes in this beautiful case with all of these different colors. And I really love all of the different color options here in this one case. I use these cream colored ones right there, and these are, I believe, a 10-aught, maybe. I don't think they're an 11-aught. They're definitely not 6-aught. That's the standard size, with quite a lot larger. So they're tiny, and you can use these as all sorts of different things. This came in a set together with bugle beads and the seed beads, both of them in the cases, and both of them are in semi-coordinating colors, as you can see here. So if you wanted to use this for any bead weaving projects, you could, and be able to coordinate your colors. I'll put the link below to that. But now that was something that I purchased, and then I used that size seed bead to just accent around all of my little floral beads here, and the one lone pearl that I decided to do in this ring. Now every ring that I make is going to be different, right? Even if I'm trying to mimic the exact same design on something, due to the nature of it being handmade, it's going to be totally different. You're not going to get the exact same design because I'm not a machine. Okay, and so this other ring, I just was mimicking the design that I have on my lily rings. Okay, so for those of you who have seen my Stargazer lily ring that I got, this is from another fellow Etsy, I'll put her link below too. She made this ring for me, and then I thought with the flower beads that I got from Beebeecraft, I would do a blue version with this plumeria flower bead here, and this is on a smaller gauge wire. This is an 18 gauge wire. She had to have done like a 16 gauge wire. You can see the difference here. Now 18 gauge is still nice and sturdy for my needs, especially since this is an adjustable ring. 16 gauge holds its shape a lot better, so that's something to keep in mind if you want to make a lot of these little rings. But you can do any bead that you want on there. This is just the little plumeria. I had to put a little bit of glue inside the bead. If I had thought about it, I would have probably done maybe a little seed bead inside that bead. That way the glue would have had a little something extra to catch onto. Now when she made her bead, she put this directly onto the wire. You can see how it's all this stuff around the wire there that keeps this bead from moving. So that is something to keep in mind too if you are able to make your own like polymer clay, porcelain, ceramic style flower beads or whatever it is that you're trying to do. But if you're making something from a bead that you get elsewhere, then just keep that in mind. I just did the little spiral in my wire on both sides, decided which way I wanted them to turn as far as going up or down, and this has already decided it wants to come loose. So I will probably put a little bit more glue on that and let it dry overnight and see if that's any better. Otherwise, I mean, it's just a loosey-goosey ring anyway. This is just for me to be able to change out my colors. Like if I'm wearing a pink glove and I want to have a blue ring on with this flower, I can certainly put that on there and no problem. There it is. How cute is that? All right, so here are my rings, and that was using my supplies from Beebeecraft in the floral beads that I got. I'll share the link to my wire wrapped rings video that I did on a previous Beebeecraft project share, and this is something that I have a lot of fun with. Again, because it's a handmade wire wrapped ring, none of the rings are going to look the same. Even if you try to intentionally do the same style and design, it's going to look different every time. But I really enjoyed using these little roses here for this ring along with the seed beads that I had. It looks really cute as a Thanksgiving or fall themed ring. And then this is my wire wrapped adjustable ring that I did with the plumeria bead. The lower your gauge goes, that means the thicker the wire is in the diameter, which is harder to fit into a bead hole. And I believe I did a 9-inch long piece of the 18 gauge wire, and then I did probably about the same amount or possibly 10 inches of this 26 gauge just to be sure that I had enough, because effectively I'm just sewing this around the large beads and making sure that it's anchored onto the ring body so it just doesn't come all the way off. But that's the only difference that I did there for that type of ring, and you can do anything that you want to with that. You could use any type of bead. It doesn't have to be a seed bead. It works very well with these rounded seed beads, but you know, just kind of play around with the beads that you have. So that is my project share for my Beebeecraft, and I love everything that I've got here. Thanks again to Beebeecraft.com for supplying these lovely floral components that you've seen me messing around here with. If you're interested in being part of the Beebeecraft.com YouTube program, I will put a slide in here and put some information plus my affiliate link below if you're interested. If you have 100 subscribers and you want to apply to their YouTube partner program, Beebeecraft will take a look at your website and your YouTube channel and any of your social medias that you submit to them and see how you might work with their brand. And they have all sorts of crafting supplies. It's not just jewelry making supplies. If you're accepted into the program, then you'll be required to make 3 videos, 2 of which they like to be tutorials, and 1 can be an unboxing. And then, of course, any kind of social media posts that you want to do for them. And that will be each time that you get any goodies from them. Please check down below in my description. I will have that information below with my affiliate links. Any of the supplies that you see here, of course, I'll also have my affiliate links below in the description. I appreciate those of you that are clicking on those because I do see that activity, and I really appreciate your support to my channel. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and share with any of your friends that might be interested in these lovely jewelry designs that I've made here, or any of the components that you see here from Beebeecraft. Leave me a comment below. Let me know, do you like my little ice cream cone earrings? Do you like my little wire wrapped ring? Subscribe if you've not already done so, and thank you so much for watching. Have a sparkle-tastic Thanksgiving, y'all. Bye.